friends in YouTube and social media world. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. From time to time I take suggestions from you guys of new videos or videos that are trending that I think are interesting, might be something fun to do. So the tag that I am doing today is the Truthful YouTuber. So apparently this is a new one where YouTubers are answering questions very truthfully. I've never really had a problem being truthful, honestly, truthfully, in anything that I do, but I do think that there is, I don't know, there's kind of like a seedy underbelly of the YouTube and social media world, especially when it comes to branding and sponsored posts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be super transparent today. I'm gonna answer all these questions. I actually have not read any of these questions ahead of time. I just thought this was an interesting idea, so I copied and pasted, and we're just gonna do this. Okay, so the first question is, have you ever received a product, tried it, didn't like it, and then decided not to review it? Yes, all the time. I think especially brands want to make sure that your reviews are really organic and that you're giving your honest opinion. Obviously they don't want your honest opinion to be that you hate something. I am definitely of the mind of I'm sharing things with you because I like them and I recommend them, and the last thing I want to do is to recommend something that is garbage, because then it sort of ruins my reputation. So if I don't like a product, I will for sure not review it. 2, product you use alone but don't show or use online. Ooh, I don't know if there's anything that I haven't really shown. I don't ever really do like nails or anything. My whole nail kit is sitting here next to me. Sorry, it's a busy Saturday in my neighborhood, so it's kind of loud out there. But it's a nice day, so all my windows are open, so sorry for you, but yay for me. I don't really show any of my nail stuff. I'm not really like a brand loyal person, so I have sort of like a little bit of everything. I don't really think that there's anything that I use that I haven't or wouldn't show you. Number 3, product you want to buy but won't buy because you don't support brand. Probably any product by Jeffree Star. Honestly, not much of a fan for personal reasons, and I mean, I'm sure all of you guys know the drama that has been online. So, but yeah, that's probably the only brand that I know that his products are really, really good, and I would like to try them, but for personal reasons, I don't. 4, do you have any blocked words? I don't even know what that means, blocked words. I guess you can block certain words in people's comments. That's kind of interesting. So if you don't want people to say like, I hate you, you can block hate. That would actually be kind of cool. Not that I've ever had anybody say they hate me. That would be a super bummer. No, I do not have blocked words. I didn't even know you could block words. This maybe is something I should look into. What word would I block if I could block a word? I don't know. For like as many bad comments as I get about my tattoos, I also get really good ones. So if I block tattoos, I feel like I miss out on a lot of good stuff. I don't know if there would be a word that I would block, honestly. Maybe I'm too nice for this tag. 5, do you delete comments? If so, why? Fuck yes, I delete comments. If you are a influencer and you do not delete comments, you are punishing yourself. It's the old adage, don't feed the trolls. That's why I don't deal with shitty comments. I honestly am really lucky and I don't get mean comments very often. Usually when I do, really, they're on Facebook and not on YouTube or Instagram. But if anybody, I mean, if people are debating stuff, especially if it's something that I posted that is more political or like a hot button topic of the moment, I will allow people to debate with each other, and I'm all for different opinions. When I delete comments is when people get mean or they kind of hit below the belt or start name calling, because I do not have time for that. And I also feel like the more you allow that to happen, the more people see that it's okay on your page, and the more the trolls sort of flock to you. And I think that a lot of influencers use that as a tool to get more followers, but I am not interested in having followers like that. So yes, I definitely delete comments. 6, do you block people? Yes, of course I do. In my personal life, or for personal reasons, and when it comes to people I actually know, I very rarely block people. But I for sure block people, especially if there's an argument or a conversation happening and there's somebody that's just like relentlessly posting attacks or like filthy language or racist, sexist, homophobic, any of those kind of remarks. They will be deleted and blocked immediately. I also block perverts. So if you like want to compliment me and be nice and respectful, cool. But if you want to like make me feel gross, then you're definitely gonna be blocked. 7, have you ever lied about a product to stay on good terms with the brand? Absolutely not. You guys know I do my products I hate video, and I always prequel those videos with there's a lot of amazing brands that make stinker products, and I think that is true for every single brand. I have never met a brand that made an array of products that didn't have a stinker product. It always happens. But I think that's part of the responsibility of being an honest influencer and having people that trust you, is to be honest about the stuff that you are reviewing. And honestly, the brands that I pump up the most are brands that I like really believe in almost across the board, but they still have wiener products. That just happens. And two, there's brands that are horrible and have like 1-star product that's awesome. Have you ever initially liked a product when you reviewed it and then changed your mind but didn't let your audience know? I mean, yes and no. There's definitely products where like when I first use it, it's like the coverage is great, and then I realize later like, ooh, but it's kind of like cakey and heavy, like little things like that. But I don't ever do like revisions on that stuff. I mean, honestly, I'd be more likely, I think, to put it in a products I hate video and then explain why I changed my mind. There's also products too that like over time I've liked less because maybe like my skin has changed or the texture of my eye skin has changed, like things like that, where it's like not the product, but it's just not right for me anymore. And there's definitely products too, like this is a good example. This is Makeup Forever's HD Under Eye Concealer. Sometimes I absolutely love it, and sometimes I feel like it doesn't have enough coverage. And then there's Bobbi Brown's little potted concealers that sometimes I feel are like amazing coverage, and sometimes I feel like it's way too heavy. So I don't know if it's like the way I apply things sometimes, but there's definitely products. Actually, another good example is something I don't have in here, but it's Milk Makeup's or Milk Cosmetics, their foundation. It's really, really full coverage. It's really heavy. So if I use it with a face oil, I love it as long as my skin isn't dry. But if my skin is dry, or if I have like breakouts that are healing, it's like not good. So there's definitely products like that. 9, influencer you don't trust. I mean, I don't know if I trust most influencers. Influencers are gnarly and like call each other out and are mean. I mean, honestly, Jeffree Star is like call out king. I think getting on his radar is not a great thing, which is probably not good for me to be talking about him here. I feel like any influencer that makes call out videos or reaction videos, those are the influencers that like kind of scare me, because I feel like, honestly, I feel like those videos they get a lot of views and a lot of followers, but it's not nice to be on the other side of those kind of videos. So I really don't know if I would trust any influencer too much. Influencer you trust the most. Patrick Star. Patrick Star is a star among stars. Such a nice human being, like amazing to his fans, honest about the brands he works with, just like a really, really stand-up person. I feel like honored to actually call him a friend now, and he's been like so welcoming, and now I know his family and his team, and he was my coach in the Benefit Cosmetics brow competition a few years ago, and he really did a good job at like keeping in touch, and he's encouraging, and he posts comments on my stuff. He just makes me feel like he cares as a human being and not just as an influencer, and he's like really, really, really good to his fans, and he's not one of those influencers that's nice in front of your face and then talk shit behind your back. Like, he's really a genuine human being. But secret tips or product application you don't show while on camera. I don't show a lot of my skin prep. Like, I really don't usually show primer. In my earlier videos I showed all of it. I showed foundation, concealer, powder, all of that, but I feel like that's like none of that's really changed for me, so I just don't show it because nothing's really different. I feel like the interesting stuff is the colorful stuff, so I think it's just kind of what people want to see most. I also don't usually show when I'm like covering up pimples, unless the point of the video is to show you how to cover up pimples, but nobody wants to see that. Actually, people do want to see that, but nobody actually wants to show that. Have you ever showed one product but were actually using another? Oh gosh, yes, I know I've done that before. Usually it's like I'll be using something that's not like quite pigmented enough for what I'm doing, so I'll just like do a quick switch. I've never done it in a review. I've always been super honest in reviews, but sometimes like during a tutorial I do a quick switch and then maybe forget about the second product I use. Like if I'm using maybe like a black eyeshadow that isn't quite black enough, and so I grab another one just to like put pigment on top. It's less of giving a wrong review and more of not crediting in makeup videos. Or like if something like doesn't come off as the right color on camera, but if you add a little bit of something else, it looks on camera how it looks in person. I've for sure done that before. Have you ever not disclosed a sponsorship? Definitely in the early days I didn't always, because I didn't know there weren't, the FTC guidelines weren't there yet. So now I for sure always say this is sponsored post, this is ad, I'm in partnership with, all of that. And I see a lot of influencers not doing that, and it just makes me afraid for them. And I've never not disclosed because I was like trying to pull the wool over someone's eyes. I just didn't know that it had to be said until like the guidelines got a little bit stricter. Have you ever had a bad interaction with a brand? Ooh, have I had a bad interaction with a brand? any bad interactions with any of the major brands. All the major brands are really easy to work with. I think it's like the multi-level marketing. Honestly, I can't tell you. I will never work with Unique Lashes. I will never work with Lip Sense or Scentsy or any of those multi-level marketing because they're so relentless. Even if their products are amazing, which I've heard that Lip Sense is really good, but just because I'm so put off by how they market and how they make their salespeople market, it makes me just not want to ever use them or try them or talk about them or recommend them to anybody. But also, like, it's kind of gross the way multi-level marketing works. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like the upper echelon of people make amazing money, and then they have to sort of wrangle people below them to sell, so the people below them get kind of screwed and make nothing while they're getting, it's just like, it's not good. It's not good for anybody. Have you ever bandwagoned with other people's thoughts on a particular product? I mean, I don't think I've bandwagoned. I'm always pretty honest with things that I like or I don't like. I definitely like follow trends. Like if a lot of people are reviewing a certain palette, like it just makes sense algorithm wise to put that stuff in your feed just so you get more people like paying attention to your stuff. Like I definitely do it with palettes when palettes are released because that's the stuff that people want to see. But I don't ever recommend something that I don't like just because it's popular. But I also feel like most of the time things are popular, they're popular for a reason. Unless it's a company that's just paying everybody a bunch of money to say good things about their brand. But I haven't ever been on the receiving end of that. But if anyone wants to pay me a bunch of money and have a good product. Things other creators do that get on your nerves. Oh goodness, this is the last one. I gotta put my legs up for this one. This is serious business. I think there's a lot of things that other creators or influencers or whatever do that get on my nerves. I think one is being dishonest for money. People that take brand deals or sponsorships from companies for a big paycheck, even though either the product isn't good or the brand isn't good. It's like flat tummy tea and like any weight loss stuff feels weird and gross to me. I don't know. I just feel like any influencer that only does things for the paycheck, because for me, I do so much of this for the feel goods and for the people, and like, yeah, it's great when you get paid by a brand, but I like really honestly just want to share good things with you guys that I believe in. Contouring really bothers me. I'm so sick of contouring videos, you guys. I can't even tell you. The over highlighting bothers me. I mean, there's a lot of like trends that bother me, but that's just personal stuff. It's such like a weird slippery slope, but the influencers that are starting at like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, oh, I just feel so strange about really young kids being on the internet for the world to see, and like really young kids wearing full faces of makeup. Like I think there's a sort of novelty to it where my first instinct is like, oh my god, that's so cute, and then it's like, oh my god, but is that 8-year-old gonna now think that they have to wear makeup to be pretty? Like that's kind of like a weird thing for me. I kind of just like, I just don't want to really have anything to do with it. People that buy followers and likes, I just think that's weird because you can see in the rest of a page if things don't match up. And also when you get brand deals or companies work with you, they always want to see your analytics, so you're not going to fool anyone. I just think influencers without integrity, that's probably like a good blanket statement. And also, finally, influencers that are super sweet and bubbly and perfect and great on camera, and then you go to like influencer events and they're dickheads, which happens a lot. And people that are only interested in like going to these events to take selfies. It's like you see there's all these people milling around with like amazing hair and makeup and clothes and outfits, people that could potentially be friends, and all it is like selfies, and like no one talks to each other, and the people in the upper echelon of followers are dickheads to the lower. And like there's always the exception. Patrick Starr is a good exception. There's definitely exceptions, but honestly I think that the dickhead upper echelon influencers are more common than the nice down-to-earth ones. I feel like if you're just gonna be you, then be you. If people love you or hate you, at least you're being true to yourself. But it's just like the fakeness. But that's Hollywood. That's just the city we live in. City I live in. I don't know where you live. Alright, there's a loud-ass truck parking right in front of my house, which I think is a sign that it is time to go. Hopefully my truthful YouTubing today gave you some insight into what, I don't know, but I still think this is kind of an interesting concept. I was honest, I'm always honest. If you ever want my honest opinion on anything, just message me and I'll tell you how I feel about stuff. So that is it. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm sorry I haven't been making a lot of YouTube videos lately. I've been focusing on 100 million different things, so life has been a little bit crazy. But thank you for everybody that keeps watching all of my stuff and my babblings and follows me on Instagram and Facebook and all those lovely things. I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Be sure to check out these other videos that I have posted to see more of my wackiness. And if you want to see even more of my wackiness, be sure to subscribe for all things that are vintage and retro and general silliness.